Hi Cancer, welcome. In this episode, we're taking a look at planetary rulership in astrology. First, we'll briefly go over what planetary rulers are and their purpose, and then we'll get into what specific meaning this holds for the zodiac sign Cancer. Planetary rulers impart certain important features to their respective signs. Each planet is associated with an ancient Greek god or goddess, whose powers and attributes are expressed through the zodiac signs they rule. And the planets themselves also possess astrophysical characteristics which relate to their sign's signature traits. So now I'm going to get into what this means for Cancer specifically. The planetary rulership scheme was developed over 2,000 years ago. Ancient astrologers assigned one of the 7 traditional planets to each sign, based on astronomical and seasonal criteria. The first assignments were the moon and sun, which were given to Cancer and Leo respectively. The reason for this is because these signs fall during the time of year when summer solstice occurs in the northern hemisphere, which is the longest day of the year when the sun is strongest. So the time period during Cancer and Leo season from June 22nd to August 22nd was associated with light. Hence, the 2 light-producing planets were given these signs to rule. This is traditional Greek Hellenistic astrology, which is from a northern hemisphere perspective, but the meanings still apply if you live in the southern hemisphere, don't worry. The moon holds power over certain specific areas of life. These include nurturing, support, nutrition, sustenance, nursing, healing, comfort, gentleness, kindness, tranquility, creative power, fertility, motherhood, protection, safety, selflessness, emotional connection, the night, the intuitive realm, cycles and phases, such as cycles of nature and the human body, like menstrual cycles and the cyclical tidal flow of oceans. And all of this tells us a lot about the sign that the moon rules in a symbolic sense, because the moon's essence is woven into the very fabric of who Cancer is. The sign of Cancer is like a warm hug. It's being enveloped in safety and peace and love, and all of that is expressed in a very intuitive and primal way. Ancient Greek astrologers primarily associated the moon with their goddess Selene. She was also sometimes called Phoebe or Mene, which is actually where the English words moon, month, menses, and menstruation are derived from. The cycle of the moon is often correlated to the menstrual cycle in women, and so the moon has always had a very strong connection with fertility and that power to create life. 2 other goddesses are sometimes associated with the moon as well. There was this sort of triple goddess triumvirate thing going on, where Selene shared the moon with the goddesses Artemis and Hecate. Artemis, also known by her Latin name Diana, was a goddess of nature, and she was very protective of the animals in her woodlands. There are mythological stories of her essentially practicing conservation and preventing people from overhunting on her territory. She was also a goddess of childbirth and the care of children. So we get this recurring theme with her protection of the vulnerable. This protective quality of the moon goddess is something that shows up very strong in Cancer a lot of the time. Cancer is a very soft and welcoming sign, but they also have an instinctual defensiveness where they will be very serious about safeguarding what is under their care. The moon is not defenseless. Artemis is an expert archer, and she fought in the Trojan War defending her brother's patron city. And Cancer has the courage of a cardinal sign that makes them quite a formidable opponent when provoked. If you'd like to learn more about how Cancer manifests the cardinal energy, you can check out my other video, What It Means to Be a Cardinal Sign, linked in the description. The 3rd moon goddess, Hecate, was a sorceress or a witch. She ruled things like magic and sacred knowledge of herbalism and herbal medicine. And so she had this magic healer medicine woman vibe. The moon is very much associated with the magical realms of dreams and intuition and the subconscious, as well as things like healing, soothing, and nursing the ill and infirm back to health. So now we'll get into the astronomical qualities of the moon itself as a celestial body. I've been colloquially referring to the moon as Cancer's planetary ruler, but to call the moon a planet is of course a misnomer. The moon and sun are actually not classified as planets in the way that Mars and Jupiter are, for example. So the technical term astrologers use to refer to the moon and sun is luminaries, because they give off light and illumination. The moon is the reflective luminary. It receives the light of the sun and then reflects it back out. So you get this sense of being an emotional and energetic sponge or mirror with the moon. And in the sign of Cancer, that manifests in a way where they can take on the emotional energy of people around them, and they have a large capacity for empathy and emotional understanding. The moon's light is uniquely gentle. It's never harsh or damaging as the sun can be. It's a soft glow rather than a burning heat. No one's ever stayed out at night too long and gotten a moonburn. And that softness and harmlessness is very palpable in Cancer. They're such gentle, delicate souls. The moon illuminates the darkness of the night, and so it is symbolically associated with shedding light on the dark realms or the subconscious realms. And Cancer is well equipped to delve into deeply emotional shadow realms because it's quite a sensitive and emotional sign. Whether exploring their own feelings or acting as a support for someone else's emotional journey, Cancer knows how to create a safe space for that exploration and emotional healing to take place. The moon is the closest celestial body to Earth, and it's the only one that actually orbits us. Everyone else in the solar system orbits the sun, but the moon hovers around Earth protectively like a helicopter mom. And that has actually been incredibly important for keeping us safe. Scientists have determined that the craters on the moon's surface are evidence that it has long been our shield from asteroids. Space is a pretty dangerous place, and up until very recently, when we've been able to come up with technology to help protect ourselves, the moon was our protector who took the hit from those asteroids. So there's a protectiveness to the moon and a selflessness, and we see that in Cancer as well. I always think about a mother protecting her young at all costs. Cancer is a sign that will not hesitate to defend what they love. The moon is the cosmic mother archetype. Its effect on the tidal oceans here on Earth is what created the environment where life could begin in our prehistoric oceans. So the moon is a life-giving force in our solar system and is deeply connected to our bodies and our well-being, our sources of life and creation. And Cancer is the zodiac sign associated with that creative source. Within them, Cancers contain abundant potentiality and possibility. Thank you so much for listening, Cancer. Leave a like if you enjoyed getting to know your sign's celestial ruler. Share this with your friends or other Cancers in your life. Comment if you have any questions, and please subscribe. I would be so happy to have you with me.